Hello, my name is Riley, and I'm here today with Coach Heiser, head track and field coach at Kansas Wesleyan University. We are going to be doing an interview today for our local leader presentation. For our first question, what steps did you take to get into your leadership role?
So I started off as a graduate assistant at Grandview University and was a track and field coach there for 2 years, and then after that applied to a bunch of different jobs and was lucky enough to come on down to Kansas Wesleyan and started as the head track coach. So really it was just kind of thrust into the position and say, here you go, learn a lot, and a lot of the things I've done from then early on, I would probably do a lot different now, but have grown and I've been in year 7 here, and I'm now in the director role with the track and field and cross country team. So I'm just kind of overseeing both programs and giving them good direction as we move forward.
How did you transition from being a student to a leader?
I think it was just always kind of inherent for me. I had a bunch of leadership roles when I was in undergrad. In like student government and activities council, so it was something I was always kind of drawn to, of like just helping others. And so the fun thing was, being out of school now, is you can kind of have a little bit more of an impact. It seems like just your role is a little bit more heightened. You have a little bit more respect, with your position. So it was honestly pretty seamless, because it was something I kind of been doing my whole life. And now I just try and make sure I live that every day.
How do you gain respect as a new leader?
I think the biggest thing is just coming into a situation and not acting like you know it all. Trying to connect with others first, and once you have that common connection, then you can get people on your side and help move in a good direction. So I think really just the connection in the human relationship first and foremost has to be strong for you to gain respect.
Perfect. What values would you say guide you as a leader?
I think it's just trusting your instincts and knowing that, kind of going back to what I kind of said a minute ago, knowing that you're not always right. I think that was one thing I struggled with earlier. Is it was my way or the highway, but really trying to get input, and even if you don't use that input, it lets people be heard. So I really try and value that, and let that guide me as a leader, of knowing that I'm always going to be learning. And if I can learn and try some new things, one, it makes it more fun and interesting for me, but it should also make it more fun and interesting for the others that are along for the journey.
Perfect. What experience can you say have influenced your leadership style?
I would say just my college track coach, Coach Nash. He was very big on being a people person first. His office was always open, was a safe space, and he was very engaging with us student athletes. So I've really tried to have my leadership style kind of focus on that as well, of always being open and checking in and always asking the question first, how are you doing? That was one of the big things that he did, and made you feel like a person, and made you feel like you had value.
Fantastic. Who is a leader that you can say inspired you?
I would say my parents are two big leaders that inspire me. They have always been there for me, and have had taken some kind of non-traditional routes throughout their through their journey as adults and stuff. Of my mom going back to school and getting a degree and becoming a teacher, and they always put us first and foremost, my brother and I, and I always found that really important. But they just do a good job of listening, and just being really great supporters of those around them, and they're selfless. That's the biggest thing I can say, is they really do put others first, and so I try and follow that lead every day of my life.
What are your biggest leadership challenges?
I think the biggest challenge is just trying to unplug, right? We see so many of these different trends and everything online, on Twitter, on Instagram, social media and everything. And, just going back to the basics. People have been leading the correct way for a really long time. So, it's not always, it doesn't have to be trendy. It just has to be what's right. So I think try not to get caught up in all the hyperbole of what's online and stuff is probably one of my biggest challenges, because I am addicted to my phone, so I see that stuff all the time. There are some good things on there, but just trying to truly be true to yourself and not let those outside influences influence you.
Perfect. So in class, we've been talking a lot about how to delegate and how many leaders struggle to delegate. How do you handle your delegation task?
Yes, if I didn't have the staff I have right now, I don't think I'd still be here. I think it's just one, knowing that you have competent people around you. So I'm lucky to have Coach Young, cross coach, Coach Hess, Coach Gathright, and then a bunch of volunteer assistants who really care. So I think the biggest thing is just knowing that I can't accomplish everything on my own. I know a lot of times I feel like I can, but if there are tasks that, like, there are things that Coach Young's really good at. He's really good at budgeting, and he's really good at being analytical. So I give him more of the tasks that he's good at. Coach Hess is really good at relationships and connections. So making sure that, you know, he's in a spot where he can really exceed in those areas, talking with recruits and stuff like that. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just knowing what your strengths are of your staff around you and putting them in positions that they're going to succeed. And that's probably the thing that I try and do the most.
And being a young coach is probably one of the things that already sets you apart, but what are some other things that you can say set you apart from other leaders?
I think I'd say my energy. I'm someone who I don't rest on my laurels. I'm pretty active, and I'm always ready for whatever's new. So I don't take like the sedentary aspect of anything very well. I always got to be moving, got to be doing something. So and with that, I try and bring a lot of energy. At the beginning of my time as a coach, I thought that's all it was energy, and I realized that can really wear people out. So trying to be better about that. But yeah, I'd say my energy, and I do think I listen pretty darn well, and try and hear what people have to say and take that input in and try and learn and grow from it. So I'd say those are two of the things that kind of help set me apart.
Fantastic. And what is one of the things you hope people learn from you?
I just hope that people learn that I care. I know that's very cliche and very cheesy, but I think that's we were sitting in a professional development the other day, and it was just hearing that a lot of younger student athletes, or just students in general, they just need a little bit more affirmation sometimes, and just knowing, hey, we're here, or I'm here, and I care. And it might be something that you think at the moment is minuscule, but we can, I'm here to listen and learn from it, and help us grow from those moments and stuff, during our time as people and as individuals.
Perfect. And then, is there anything that you might want to say now that you would really want young leaders to know?
I think it kind of goes back to what I said earlier of just like, knowing that you're not going to know everything. In the moment, I struggle with this a lot because I think I know everything, and my wife tells me that all the time. But just knowing that, hey, you don't know everything. It is okay to be wrong. And that's where we learn. I tell my team all the time that we learn more from our mistakes and our shortcomings than we do from when things are going well. So, because that makes time, you take time to sit back and kind of process what went wrong and what we can do better. So just know that you're not always right, and it's okay to learn from others and take a step back so you can grow.
Perfect. And then just one last question. What is one thing you're looking forward to on your upcoming season? Yeah,
I'm just really excited to see how this group grows, because we're pretty young. We had a really big senior class last year, and I had about 15 graduates in it. So when you graduate a class like that, there's a lot of younger individuals stepping into roles that are going to be unique for them. Especially within my sprints group, we only have one gal that's truly senior, and she's technically a junior because she's graduating early. So women's wise, it's a bunch of young sophomores and freshmen who have just kind of thrown into the fire. On the men's side, I have one senior, and so it's seeing how he kind of he's been through the program and he knows what to do, and just kind of stepping up and showing those younger athletes, okay, this is how we get it done. This is what we do here at Kansas Wesleyan. So those younger athletes are going to have to take a big step forward, just in their leadership in general. But we've already seen that happen, and it's because of our upperclassmen, the few that we do have, showing them the ropes and just doing things the right way. I always say, leadership is not about being the most vocal. Leadership is about leading by example. And in our sport of track and field, a lot of it is just showing up and doing the work. It's not pretty, it's not sexy, it's not fun, but it's showing up, doing the work, getting it done. And so when you have upperclassmen who are doing that and imparting that on the younger group, it just makes it a cycle, and it makes it something that continues to happen year after year. We've been pretty good about doing that so far, and hopefully we can continue to do that as we move forward with the program.
Fantastic, Coach. Well, me and my group want to thank you for your time for doing this interview, and we wish you success on your upcoming season. Thank you so much.